Wasn't my cousin, it was a delivery. Okay. So you physically met Adrian Andrews, right? Of course I did. What was that? What was the brief pause? Witness. I would like you to give us a few more details. I always meet my clients as a matter of principle. I have never taken a request by telephone or mail. And why is that? And that's because I value the trust between a client and myself above all else, and that's the only way to establish that is to speak to the client while looking them in the eyes. Was Wright, was the testimony of any importance? It was not important. Why he meets his clients is not important, and that wasn't at the point. Witness, please stop sidestepping my questions. What do you mean by that? My question was, did you really meet Adrian Andrews in person? I have already told you, Mr. Wright, I did. It was only through talking with him face to face that I began to trust him. That's when I thought, I can trust this person as a client. Ooh. This is true what they're talking about face to face. Well, Mr. Wright, was the testimony now of any importance? It was very important. I heard what I think I heard just now. Then I think I've got him. Your Honor, I believe the testimony just now was of utmost importance. Huh? Really? If that's the case, witness, please include the statement just now in your testimony. And very well. From the moment I saw him, I thought I can trust him. You're saying him. But as we now know, that was not how it turned out, correct? What do you mean? Adrian Andrews turned out to be a client who couldn't stick to the rules, right? Well, yes. I suppose you are correct. So I would like to check one last time. Are you sure your testimony is accurate? That is what occurred. I trust my memory and I believe I have made no mistakes. I would like to go over this one more time. You met Adrian Andrews at the bar and took the request at that time? Yes, that is correct. And that's when you thought he was trustworthy? How many times must I repeat myself? Yes, that is correct. I'm sorry, but that is an impossible tale. What? Shelley DeKiller. You have never met the real Adrian Andrews. Why would you say that? Because you made one very big slip-up. About her. So what is the issue? What did you say just now? About her? If you had ever met Adrian Andrews in person, one look would have told you that she is a woman. Oh. Oh. No, order in the court. Mr. Wright, what is the meaning of this? This witness testified to the following, that he always meets face-to-face with his clients when taking their requests, but he has never met Adrian Andrews in person. Yes, Your Honor, that is exactly the point. That means Mr. DeKiller's client could not have been Miss Adrian Andrews. Ew? Ew, that, that, I know is probably supposed to be like grease from the walkie-talkie. But we can all agree it, Mr. Edgeworth, I understand your logic on this one. However, why would the assassin make such a basic mistake? I believe it has to do with her name, Your Honor. Her name? Yes, Adrian Andrews is without a doubt a very androgynous name. Yes, I see. Unluckily for Mr. DeKiller, the entire time he was on the stand, no one has stated Adrian Andrews' gender. And so he simply picked the wrong gender to go with. What? What is going on? Shelley DeKiller, this court demands an explanation. I think somehow I must have mixed up this client with another. So does that mean you remember something differently now? Yes, of course. Please, if you would allow me to testify once more. Ugh, I know he's just going to spit out more lies. Very well, but this time, please give us the truth and nothing but the truth. Request taking part 2. Yes, now I remember I took that request by mail. There have been times when I took a job without having met my client. The request was for the murder of Juan Corrida and 2 or 3 other small things. When I saw the name at the end of the letter, I thought my client to be a man. Oh, bullshit. So you took this job through a letter. He didn't mention anything about a letter in his earlier testimony. which means he is definitely lying. Be careful, Phoenix. If you break the assassin's testimony completely, it's over for us. I know. I think we're okay. Like, we can do this. As long as he's standing there across from me. No matter how strong of a punch I throw, he'll counter it. Now then, let's begin the cross-examination. Yes, now I remember. I took the crest by mail. But didn't you just say that you always meet your clients? Yes, I suppose I did say that. However, there are some clients for whom a meeting is simply not possible. But didn't you meet your client this time? No, I did not. Oh, come now, let's stop with this game of cat and mouse. Using your silkiest voice is not going to work on me. Alright then, I just cough it up and confess. Mr. Wright, you can't badger a witness with such harsh words. Your lawyer is to behave. Alright. Have any proof? I don't have proof. I'm sorry, Your Honor, I don't have any proof. There have been times when I took a job without having met a client. My request was for the murder of Juan Creta, or 2 or 3 small things. 2 or 3 other things? Yes, and what were these other things? A few other things that have nothing to do with this case. What should I do? No, I want to know. Whether or not they're related to the case is for the court to decide. Mr. Attorney? Yes? Everything I have said from the beginning has been nothing but beneficial to your client, which is why I wonder what is pushing you to continue with this cross-examination. Could it be that you are planning to betray your own client? I smell the stench of backstabber, and should you turn out to be one? Wait! This is looking really bad. I shouldn't press my luck. Alright, I have to think, is it worth pursuing? Yes. Witness, this is a very important matter. Please cooperate and tell us what these other jobs your client requested were. If it's truly that important, I suppose I don't have much of a choice. Yes, I was. The bear figurine. The bear figurine? After the assassination of the target, I was to find the figurine. I was told that this job was just as important as the actual killing. And where was that figurine? It was inside Miss Creta's suitcase. And then, what did you do next? I handed it over to my client right away. And you gave it to your client. Interesting. This information certainly sounds important to me. Witness, please include what you just stated in your testimony. As you wish. Okay, my cousin's on his way.
Objection!
Shelley de Killer. If you had really given the bear to Miss Andrews, then this item should not have been inside it. This item? I see where you're going. Yep, that's where I'm going. Where is everyone going? Do I need to pack a suitcase? Your Honor, please think back to Miss Andrews' testimony. And I was going to burn it, for her sake. If even for a single minute, this bear had actually been in Miss Andrews' hands, I'm sure she would have taken the suicide note out and burned it. So, most games I play on here are horror games. This is kind of one of those games that I wanted to play, but it was on sale finally, so I was like, well, I guess we're taking a break, which is probably good for my mental health. I believe we're playing, like, something about Hobbs Barrow next, which my cousin has been wanting me to play, so... but if you go below the chat, you can find a link to my YouTube, and you can see all the games that I play in, like, the playlists. I do a lot of, like, yes. I'm called Undead Eyes for a reason. I apparently like to scare myself. And piss off my dog in doing so. Order. So that's where you two were going. So by the very fact that this suicide note was still inside the bear, it tells us that your client didn't know how to disassemble the puzzle. Which means... It means, Your Honor, that it's impossible for Adrian Andrews to be the client. Oh, no. Oh! Ugh. Mr. Phoenix Wright. I'm sure I mentioned this before, how I hate traitors above all else. I think your cross-examination has clearly demonstrated something to me. You must wish to break your end of our agreement. No, that's enough. If that is your intention, then there is only one thing for me to do. Wait, please. Gentlemen, ladies, please excuse me. I have a matter that I must attend to. No, please. Not that. Please wait. Mr. Attorney, bring this trial to a speedy end and I may stay my hand otherwise. It's scream. What in the... Mr. Wright, are you... Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor. I didn't understand this witness outburst just now. Do you think there is need to hear more testimony, or is this enough? Well, we should. Edgeworth, we can't do this. If we keep this up, Maya shall... The prosecution... What has come over everyone? Even you are... Prosecution... rests. What is going on around here? Prosecution has no further questions, Your Honor. What? Well, I never thought I'd see the day. This is a most unusual situation. If the prosecution rests with no further questions, then the prosecution has failed to uphold its stance. If that's the case, then even though I am reluctant, I must believe that Mr. DeKiller's testimony is accurate. That would mean that Shelley DeKiller's client is Adrian Andrews. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. If I end the trial here, right now, then your client, Matt Engard, would be declared innocent. And in his place, Adrian Andrews would be charged with murder. Miss Andrews would be charged with murder. The prosecution has no further questions, so we will now hear the defense's final remarks. The item from DeKiller's hideout didn't make it in time. We tried as hard as we could, but it looks like our time has run out. Can't believe it. The outcome now lies in your hands. Okay. Dude, did the old guy finally decide? To be honest, I can't think of you as a truly innocent and good person. You've done enough evil to drive a woman to suicide. But, at least on the charge of murder, it would appear you are innocent. So, I guess even the old fuddy-duddy figured me out. Mr. Engard, what an atrocious lawyer I have, giving his own client up like this. And that refreshing like a spring breeze crap is just atrocious, don't you agree? Anyway, get on with it and pronounce me innocent already. Right, Mr. Lawyer? Should I side with justice? Or should I save Maya's life? You'd better get Engard a guilty sentence, okay? But if I did that, Maya will die. But if I say he's innocent, then Miss Andrews will be charged as the murderer. Do I say he's guilty or not guilty? Either choice I make, someone's life is going to end. It all hinges on what I choose. Now then, Mr. Wright, let's hear your defense's final statement on this matter. If the person who hired the assassin was Adrian Andrews, then your client, Mr. Matt Engard, is innocent. There's no need to ask, old man. After all, my lawyer is going to say what I want, aren't you? Right? I can't do this. But I have to decide something. I can't count on the evidence to help me anymore. I have to listen to my heart. My client, Matt Engard, is... We are waiting for your answer, Mr. Wright. Matt Engard, your client deserves an answer. Maya, I'm sorry. Matt Engard is...
Objection!
Yay! For Franziska von Karma! What are you doing? Ow! You see now, don't you, Mr. Phoenix Wright? This is exactly why you should never take your eyes off that scruffy fool. Did you bring them? The final pieces, do you have them? You should know better than to ask that, Mr. Miles. Why is whenever she's on screen, my earbud goes wonky? I found Karma is perfect in every way. The evidence is here in perfect condition. Don't worry about Scruffy. He's fine, and his injuries are minor. All of the items are inside this. What a filthy old coat this is. That's Gumshoes. I can spot his tattered rags anywhere. I apologize for its ugliness, but there was nothing else to wrap the items in. I fought long and hard this whole trial, all for what is inside this raggedy coat. I'm sure that inside this coat lies a crucial piece of evidence. Your Honor, inside that filthy coat are the defense's final pieces of evidence. Your final evidence? This trial is already over. All that remains is for me to hand down my verdict. I do not believe that any evidence presented now would change the outcome of this trial. What?
Objection!
Your Honor, it is our duty to examine every piece of evidence down to the last. I request that Miss Von Karma be allowed to present these pieces of evidence. So as you are right, Mr. Edwards, I grant permission to do so. However, this one obvious rule applies here. If these items do not bring up any new points, then they will not be accepted into this court. She bugs me. Her whole family line bugs me. But a lot of characters in this game bug me, and the one that I actually liked, he ended up being a bad guy. Now, Miss Von Karma, if you please. These pieces of evidence are in items left by the killer himself during his escape from the police. He must have been in quite a rush. Yes, Your Honor, the killer left 3 pieces of evidence. Somewhere among the evidence we're about to see. There will be something that will turn this whole situation around like a miracle. I'm sure of it. That is all we can hope for. The first item is a pistol. Does the killer's pistol have anything to do with this case? I don't think so. Pretty sure there was no gun involved in this case. There's no real benefit to hearing about it. Her father... It was the I don't like the finger wagging. Bugs me. Please present the next evidence. The second piece of that, yes, this is important. The killer took it from question for more details. Have you checked the contents of that tape? Unfortunately, there was no time to. Oh, yeah. But I would speculate that tape is very important. Why would you say that? Because he came back to his hideout for it. The killer went back for it? That's right. It looks like he was trying to recover it. He injured 3 of the officers on the site. But somehow it looks like they managed to protect it from DeKiller. Shelley DeKiller is no ordinary man. Videotape. The last piece of evidence is this bellboy's uniform. Oh, that's important. Was that they used during the crime? I am almost certain it was. There's even a pair of black leather gloves in one of the pockets. There's no doubt about it. DeKiller was wearing this on the night of the murder. There's one thing I found interesting about this uniform. And what is that? There's a button missing on this uniform. A button? It's a very unique button. I'm sure if we were to recover it, it would prove us within an interesting clue. Bell uniform added to the court record. This is all I have to present, Your Honor. It's just as I thought. And what is that, Your Honor? I'm sure were we under normal circumstances, these items from Shelley DeKiller's hideout would be very important clues. However, our question is not who did the killing. It is who is the client. Yes, that is correct. And these 3 items do not tell us anything about that. Thank you for your hard work, Miss Von Karma. You may step down now. Wait, Your Honor. Please allow me to examine this new evidence. Overruled. This court already has all the evidence it needs to hand down a verdict. Wonderful. Absolutely splendid. This judge is such a brilliant man, isn't he? Is this the end? Phoenix? I knew it. There's no such thing as a miracle in this world, is there? I think you're wrong. I think they do exist. But we have to make the miracle happen. You've come this far. You can't give up now. But no matter how you think about it, it's try for my sake. Just think about it for a second. There are 2 ways out of this situation for us. He is. I do like him. He's funny. 2. The first. Make Engard wish from the bottom of his soul for a guilty verdict. Huh? The killer always places his client's wishes first. If Engard himself wishes to be convicted, then he will let his hostages go. that may be true, but that's asking me to do the impossible. The second way, force Killer to end his contract with Engard. If Killer were to no longer think of Engard as his client, then he would let Maya go. Yeah, that's even more impossible. He is a man who values his... My earbud was dying. He is a man who values his duty. Now it sounds weird when I talk, because now it's the other ear. Clients above all else. I know both of these seem impossible feats at first, but if you could make either one happen, it would truly be a miracle. The bigger problem is, the judge has already said he doesn't need any more evidence. The pieces he was just shown, he's not accepting them. Phoenix, think things through from the other side. Isn't that what has always worked for us? The other side? Wait, does she mean... You mean to turn things around? Phoenix, the judge says he doesn't need the evidence. If that's the case, then who does need it? The person who needs the evidence? The defense, prosecution, and the judge. We have seen all the pieces of evidence. And that is how we have come to know the truth. But there is one person who has yet to see them all. And that person does not know the truth. The truth? It may be what will bring about the miracle in the end. There are no objections this time, correct? Now then, I will pronounce my verdict. Why don't we all respectfully sit back and listen, kids?
Objection!
I have already told you, Mr. Wright. This court does not need any more evidence. I am not saying it is us that needs the evidence, Your Honor. Then, you want to show the evidence to that person? Did you kill her? Yes, Your Honor. I assume we're talking about to kill her, but... And I'm just now realizing you can save mid-trial. Would have been really nice in the past. Please, Your Honor. I'm not the smartest all the time. Mr. Wright, for you to ask with such passion, I will grant you one chance. One chance. Please show your evidence to who you think is the right person. That's impossible to turn this situation around in one try. One try, that is all I will permit. I have to try to remember. Everything that has happened up to this point. Think, Phoenix, think. There must be a way to save Maya while taking Engard down at the same time. Yes! It's to take away the trump card, which is that stupid video that I pointed out earlier. If we take that away, then we're safe. Mr. Wright, let's not waste any more time. Who would you like to show evidence to? I see. And now tell us, court, one piece of evidence you would like to show him. Well, what do you think, Mr. Edgeworth? I think there is some merit in showing this evidence to that witness. Bailiff, please bring in the transceiver from earlier. All right, it looks like I managed to convince him. Yes! And now everybody in my comments on YouTube one day will be like, you can save! You know you can save! And I'll be like, I didn't know! Maya, she's okay, right? Didn't I tell you to concern yourself with bringing about a speedy end to the trial? Now, if I understand correctly, you wish to show me one piece of evidence. Yes, one is all I need. I have here a videotape. It was found at your hideout. I heard you injured 3 officers in your attempt to get this back. That was most regrettable. However, it was an order from my client. I was told to protect that videotape. I thought so. I'm afraid I seem to have failed in that regard. Do you know the contents of this tape? I was sternly told by my client to not watch it, so I have absolutely no idea. Actually, you are on this tape. Me? There was a video camera hidden in the crime scene. Your actions were being recorded. What? Is that true, Mr. Wright? Who was it that planted the camera? Well, the only person who could have placed the camera at the scene of the crime would be your client, naturally. That was Adrian Andrews. Be quiet and listen, Your Honor. Yes, sir. Your client specified a place and time for you, isn't that right? Yes. That was so they could film you. I had no idea. Mr. Wright, why would my client do such a thing? I would like to know why. Why did Matt Engard film the crime scene? The reason why he did it, we already know why. There's only one reason why Mr. Client would secretly file. Your client once told me something very interesting. We were talking about you, and this is what they said. But I'm no weakling. I don't believe anyone, least of all assassins. Oh, come now, Mr. Wright, as assassins aren't above blackmail. Yes, that's where the video comes in. With that, I can keep him at bay and even blackmail him if I want. Yep. Your client didn't trust you at all. They were thinking of using this video to blackmail you. What do you have to say to that, Shelley Do Killer? Really, with the sound effects looking worse. Oh! It looks like I was being deceived from the beginning. Yes, by a natural. That is the kind of person they are. Your client is a person who only thinks and plots of how to use the people around them to protect themselves from any and all dangers that may arise. That is the true nature of your client. I have one question for the witness. Yes. You told us one thing numerous times during your testimony. You said that you detest traitors most of all. Yes, that's right. But what if that traitor was your own client? What would you do then? That's obvious. I would break our contract in that case. And then, that client would become my next target. For the honor of Do Killer's name, even if it takes an eternity, I would follow that person to the ends of the earth to exact my punishment. I see. And that's all I wanted to know. So the traitor becomes Do Killer's next target. Ah, I get it. This is how we'll turn this case around. Mr. Wright. Yes? My contract with my client is over as of now. I seem to have a new job on my hands. I will now return to you your precious item. What the? What the? I'm not an item! Maya, I thought I'd never see you again. Oh, thank goodness. The trial appears to have come to a conclusion, however, I don't quite know what's... Blah. Miss Von Karma, where did that... She always has you in her sights. Now, I do believe it's time to finally hand down a verdict. Mr. Engard, it looks like somehow you got what you wanted. You will finally receive the acquittal you wanted so badly. You should be happy. But before that, I would like to make one final statement. Sometimes in the near future, one very betrayed assassin may appear before you. Needless to say, that man is very good at what he does. I'm sure you would understand what I mean if you watch this video. Help me? Now then, Your Honor, the verdict if you please. Is that alright with you, Mr. Wright? We have finally reached the end of the very long battle. Whether he's convicted or acquitted, there is no escape for him now. Go on, Phoenix, plead whichever way your heart tells you. Right, Chief. Matt Engard. Even though I am a lawyer, I cannot make your crime disappear. I think a guilty verdict is appropriate here. But me? My wonderful self guilty? Even if you got an acquittal that instant you set foot outside the detention center, your life would be in danger, no matter which way you look at it. You can't run away from your crime anymore. No! Guilty, 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 guilty. Oh, man. You might want to see a manicurist if your nails are that sharp, darling. As always, it looks like we have uncovered the real truth. We? I don't remember you helping out much in this. Mr. Edgeworth, how is Matt Engard? I have left Mrs. Von Karma in charge of his incarceration. I'm sure he's getting a full-course meal of whipped leather right now. Very good. That was a close one, wasn't it, witness? Yes. I plan to pay my debt to society for my own crime, Your Honor. The first time I was called to the witness stand during this trial, all I felt was despair. She must be talking about the time Edgeworth really went after her. I guess she's trying to forgive him for what he did. This witness, how should I put this? She has an illness. If you're going to say you would choose death, that is of no concern to me. But After that, when I was alone at the detention center, that's the first time I really saw myself for who I am. And today, when the two of you used your combined strength to convict Matt, I felt like I had finally been saved. Wow, this is the first time I've ever seen her smile. I am really happy that you two were in charge of this case. I really don't know how to express how I feel at this moment. This is the first time I felt comfortable with myself, with who I am. Thank you so much, everyone. The way they drew her knuckles looks like she had another finger. I thought about it, but it looks like we have resolved everything at last. As for myself, there are still a few things I'm confused about, but everyone seems to be in good spirits, and that is good enough for me. That is all. This court is adjourned. March 23rd, 5:14 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 3. You were great out there, Meetings. What I did out there was right, wasn't it? This is the first time you've not gotten your client off. You got them guilty verdict this time, but you have to look past all of that to what's really important. You now realize that there is something more than just getting a not guilty, right? Yes, I understand now. Phoenix, think back for a second. Think to the moment before Miss Von Karma arrived with the final piece of evidence. Think about the incredible decision you had to make. Is he guilty or is he not guilty? Those were your choices then and your answer. Your answer spoke to what being a lawyer means to you. Right. And Edgeworth, I have good news. Maya is now safe in police custody.
Really?
Pearls!
You're telling me the truth, right, Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes, she's quite safe. She's on her way here as we speak in a patrol car.
Ah, Mystic Maya! Mystic Maya is safe! You did it! You really did it, Mr. Nick!
Ow, she punches deceptively hard for a kid.
I believed in you. I kept saying to myself, Mr. Nick will save her. Mr. Nick will save her.
Thanks?
Oh!
What's wrong?
Miss Von Karma.
About earlier, thanks. Ow! Why are you still smiling, Mr. Phoenix Wright? You lost. Your perfect win record has now been crushed. And yet, you are still happy? I don't think you'll ever understand Miss Von Karma. How dare you? Don't worry. She may in time after all. Ooh, ow, my knee. What? Who's messaging me? Until a year ago. Okay. Edgeworth. For me, my own personal victories and for guilty verdicts. My phone won't shut up. I used every dirty trick in the book, and so my win record remains spotless, but the man appeared and stood fast against that selfish me. I fought him in my usual manner and tasted my first defeat. I felt like I had lost everything because of that. And then it was my turn to sit on the defendant's chair. And I was saved by that person I called my enemy. I've forgotten that happened, so I left the prosecutors. And I left that note. Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth chooses death. As well as you should have, a prosecutor who has shamed himself with defeat should crawl into a hole and die. But that was not what happened. After I left the prosecutor's office, I finally came to realize something. And it was in that moment the clarity that everything began to change. Give me 1 second. Yeah, I dropped my controller. Gordon. Okay, he's gonna be entertained by my. Okay. You attacked the defendant, but every time we did so, no matter how desperate the situation, instead of giving up like most people, that man would hold strong with his undying faith. And then, before I knew it, I began to trust in that man as well. Oh, what? You trusted your enemy? It doesn't matter how many underhanded tricks a person uses. The truth will always find a way to make itself known. The only thing we can do is to fight with the knowledge we have, knowledge we hold and everything we have. Erasing the paradoxes one by one. It's never easy, we claw and scratch for every inch, but we will always eventually reach that one single truth, this I promise you.
The truth?
Yes, that the reason why prosecutors and defense attorneys exist. But I'm sure you knew that already, didn't you, Wright? That's why you couldn't forgive me, this man who went into hiding, isn't that right? This man who only had his sights set on victory, who ran away into the night.
Ah, is Mr. Edgeworth right, Mr. Nick? Bye.
You really let me down. When you disappeared, I felt betrayed. The reason I decided to become a lawyer to begin with was because I believed in the things you said to me. All those years ago. And you betrayed your own words. That's why 1 year ago, I made up my mind. I decided that the Miles Edgeworth I knew had died. At least that's what I told myself. You pathetic fool!
Miss Von Karma?
I don't want to hear the wretched whimpering of a disgraced loser. If Von Karma is someone who is destined to be perfect, Miles Edgeworth, you are no longer worthy. You are no longer worthy of being a Von Karma. And neither am I. It's over. It's all over. Francisca threw something on the ground just now. This is an electromagnetic receiver. Isn't it the thing he used to track Detective Gumshoe? I'll return this to the precinct later. There's also something else.
Isn't that Miss Von Karma's whip?
I'll never set foot in another courtroom again. I'm sure that's what she's saying by this action. You should keep this right. Okay. Nick! Maya!
Missing Maya!
Missing Maya! Oh look, everybody's alive. Oh, Nick, I knew you would come through. You got Engard convicted like I knew you would. And on top of that, you even rescued me. Well, of course I did. You know I would never desert you. But we sure pressed our luck this trial. You're really lucky to be standing here. Whatever. Look, it's over, okay? Besides, if I did croak, I would just come back and haunt you like a bad ghost through Pearly. Is it really that easy to do something like that? Thanks a lot, Nick. Don't mention it? Maya. Oh, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm relieved you're all right. Hey, it looks like you've made some real progress, Mr. Edgeworth. Well, I suppose I'm a little different from who I was a year ago. All right. I think it's time we get out of this depressing place. Huh? Where are we going? Food, Nick. Food. Grub, chow, I'm starved. I'm so hungry even you look like a nice juicy burger on the bun to me, Nick. You think I look like a burger? I'm a prime rib at least.
Come with us, Mr. Edgeworth, please.
If you insist. All right. So how about we hit up our usual burger joint? Don't be silly, Nick. Huh? This case messed up that awesome evening and got in the way of my gourmet food. So I've decided that we have to make it up by having another feast. Another feast? Come on, Nick. Food! Hey, pal. Sorry to keep you guys waiting. Gumshoe, are you alright? Oh god, poor guy. Yeah, but I'm really embarrassed. I didn't think I would hit a telephone pole of all things. A telephone pole? Then it wasn't a red light that got him? You did it again, city boy. I felt like my dear old heart was gonna give out on me, and I ain't joking. Yeah, it was more exciting than the very last episode of Steel Samurai. Thanks? Now looky here, Mr. Snooty prosecutor. Don't you reckon you're bullying Mr. Wright too hard? If you don't stop being a lot nice to him, he might just kick it tonight even. I'll keep that in mind. Well, come on now. Everyone's gathering around. Y'all gonna get a here picture taken by a genuine professional photographer. Looks like Lotta bought herself a new camera. Well, pal, at least we can put this messy case behind us now. Come on, tonight's all about eating, so let's go chow down, pal. Amen to that, pal. Amen. You know, when you think about it, you were the one who saved the day, Detective. Huh? Me? You really think so? He's right. If it wasn't for the 3 items you took, I think this trial would have had a very different ending. Ah, well, you know, that's... Huh? Wait. That's odd. When I ran off with the things from the killer's hideout, I was sure I took 4 things in total, sir. What? 4? Yeah, I'm sure I put one of the items in my coat pocket. There was a 4th item? Oh, come on, y'all. It's over. But oh boy, I tell ya, you really are something else. Between getting accused of murder and getting kidnapped. Never a dull moment with you, huh? You think? Why does she look so happy about that?
But being shut away for 2 whole days. Weren't you scared?
Yeah, it was really scary. I felt so hopeless. I can't do her little look right now. So to keep my mind off things, I drew a picture. Sounds like you had it rough, gal. So where's the picture of yours?
Yeah, I want to see it. I want to see Mystic Maya's picture.
You know, I don't know where it went.
Aw, that's too bad.
Well, it's alright. It wasn't anything important anyway.
Aw.
It sure is nice to finally see them both smiling again. What is it, Edgeworth? This thing is picking something up. Ah, that's Miss Von Karma's receiver. Thanks to her, I had the most awful experience of my life, sir. I can't believe she stuck the tracking device on me. That's odd. Even though you're still standing right here, the tracking device seems to be in a different location. Oh, that's probably busted or something, sir. Well, it doesn't matter. I'm afraid it's about time for me to excuse myself. I still have some work to do. Huh? Mr. Edgeworth, you haven't even eaten anything yet. And you've eaten way too much, you glutton. I had fun tonight. Now if you'll excuse me. Wait. What? I just want to say thanks, Edgeworth. You really saved me out there. If anyone should be saying thanks, it should be me, Wright. I feel like words alone aren't enough here. I wonder if there's anything I can give him to express how I feel. Can I not be doing this with something somewhere? What am I doing? Okay. What do I give him? What do you want me to give him? What's this? Thank you. It's all thanks to you two. You and her. You don't need to thank me. I was only doing my job.
It looks like Mr. Edgeworth has left, Mr. Nick. Hey, Mystic Maya?
Huh? Yes, Pearly?
I guess you two can go back to being lovey-dovey, right? You and Nick, I mean.
But Pearly! Would you cut it out already? You're embarrassing me. Anyway. So who's paying for this lovely dinner party? As if you need to ask. Everyone say thank you to Nick. Huh? Yeah, I'm kind of at the point where I can't even buy instant noodles, pal. So I kind of already put your name on the bill. Huh? Yeah, I got my situation just like that myself. And there's this camera shop and this hotel, see? And I just bought myself this good old beauty here. It'd better be anywhere from 3,000. Actually, I reckon you bought it for me since it's on your tab and all.
Isn't it great, Mr. Nick?
Yeah, Nick? Why do I suddenly feel like screaming? Oh, you don't need to hold back now, you hear? Yeah, pal, time to let it all out.
This is going to be the first time I hear the real you.
Go on, it's been a while since I heard you say it. I've been busy being a hostage and all. All right then, if you say so. Alright. Okay, I'm gonna end that here. And just assume there'll be nothing too much at the end. Oh, maybe there will. Oh shit. You really came through for me, Nick. I had to hide that letter, but I knew you'd find it. I really feel like I've been living on the edge lately. I mean, I've escaped death 3 times now. Pretty cool, huh? I feel like a pro.
I'm so happy that you could have saved Mystic Maya, Mr. Nick. And I'm so happy for the two of you. Speaking of which, I think this hotel is a popular place for honeymooners. So I sort of made reservations for the two of you just in case.
Mr. Edgeworth had a long talk with the chief and he got me reinstated for work. I heard he said things like letting that one go is bad for all of society. I knew it. Crashing headlong into everything is the only way to live, pal. I, Maggie Bird, am retiring this uniform as of today, sir. I'm going to be a waitress from now on. And bring smiles and joy to the people who come by the restaurant, sir. I hope you'll stop by sometime, Mr. Wright. Yes, are you here to visit a patient? I'm Dr. Hoti. Ho ho. Recently, yes, that girl, you know, I haven't seen her around. Yes. But I remember if I even so much laid my eyes on her, it would go crack. It didn't matter if I got whipped, though. Yes, ho ho.
Hi, Iris. My sweet girl. My sweet baby girl.
It's time to begin our quest of world circus domination, sweetie. And to let the world know we are serious, I plan to make a fabulous flight to Zimbabwe. Hey Max, what do you think Zimbabwe is like? Do you think there are castles made of cake and bunnies who can talk? I think if there's any talking bunnies, even they won't laugh at most jokes. I'm ready. There's no way these jokes are gonna fall on deaf ears. I'm going to be more contemporary with my humor. Mo curls represent. We've got our new act all worked out. Damn it, that's loud. I'm gonna just pause that on my end. Say something, will you? Supposed to just get on with it. What's this, Drat? It's just an ordinary electric razor recharging. I can't believe this, really. How long do they plan on making me do this? Oh, but it's Edgy Poo's idea, so that means it must have a deep hidden meaning. Now, why do I get the feeling they wouldn't forget about me, would they? Oh, it was never like this in the old days. Everyone thought the world of me. They used to call me Queen Wendy and treat me like royalty, and no one heard about it. This is going to be Fabana Heels, and this is going to be the Phil Byrne. And speaking of burning, playing with fire is very dangerous because of that. 3 of the warehouse where I stored the scenery were burned right into... It's about a huge snake. I appreciate everything you and Mr. Edward did for me from the bottom of my heart. Oh, that's right. I received a letter from Miss Von Karma. She said that after I get out, I should feel free to consult her about anything at all. I'm really thankful to have met everyone. It has been difficult for me to in this country. As such, I will take a short leave of absence. If you would like to request my services, please be sure to visit my homepage. May we both be blessed with longevity. March 23rd, 9:42 p.m. International Departures, Gate 12. Where are you going, Franziska? How do you know I was here? With this? I heard you were planting things on certain person. Things like tracking devices in his coat, for example. That's just like you. I only planted it there because he was always wearing it. This filthy drab of a coat of his. I don't know how it ended up in my luggage, but it's going in the trash, I promise you that. Oh, that's right. Speaking of that man, he told me something very interesting. When I ran off with the things from Duke Killer's hideout, I was sure I took 4 things in total, sir. 4 things? It seems he put the last one in his coat pocket. He put it in here? It doesn't matter anymore, and the case is already over. What are you going to do now? That's none of your business. Are you running away? Shut up. You don't understand a thing. You can't possibly understand what it means to be Manfred von Karma's daughter. Franziska, so many expectations from everyone around me, expectations I must fulfill. I'm expected to win no matter what, and a failure such a thing is not an option for me. My father was a genius, there's no doubt about that. But me, I'm no genius. I've always known that. But I had to be one. I had to. You may not be a genius like your father, but you are a prosecutor. You have been and always will be. No, I'm not. Not anymore. I've even thrown my whip away. Speaking of that, Wright gave me this to hold on to. Right. You knew something like this would happen, didn't you? I'm going to say this again. We prosecutors do not fight for personal honor or pride. I hope you will think deeply about what you should be striking down with that whip. You haven't changed a bit. You've always left me alone and walked on ahead without me. Miles Edgeworth, I've always hated you. And then, finally, my chances to take my revenge on you arrive. If I could win against that man, if I could make Phoenix Wright bow down in defeat, then this girl you left behind would have risen higher than you. That was supposed to be my revenge. Oh, aha. I see. You know, I can't do it. I can't change who I am. I can't throw away everything I've been until today. I believe you can. Just like how Adrian Andrews did. Adrian Andrews? You were going to use her during the trial, right? But you were dependent on your father by using his tactics, isn't that right? Humph. Today, you chased after me, after I had left you behind all these years. And that's why we're standing here now, side by side. But I have no intention of stopping. You say you're going to quit your walk down the prosecutor's path? Then this is where we part ways. Franziska von Karma. Oh. I am Franziska von Karma. Don't think I'm going to walk in your shadow forever. Our battle begins now. So you had better prepare yourself, Miles Edgeworth. She's basically his little sister since von Karma adopted him after his father died. Bye-bye, bitchy bitch. Phoenix Wright. One day, someday, I'm sure we'll meet again in battle. Until then, this last piece of evidence that never made it to you, I'll take good care of this fourth piece. It's the drawing, isn't it? So I can give it to you when at last we meet again. Let's see it. Let's see it. Yep. That's funny. Love it. Alright, that's it. So I'm gonna go now, and then on another day, another time, we will start the third one. Thanks.